Thai Worldwide Ministry, taking the gospel to all nations.
In our beloved viewers, and welcome to another episode of TBT, that is the Best Talk Show. My names are Edwin Mbachu, and in the studio, Kamakawa, Kamadawa, I have my two lovely, wonderful guests. Remember, every Thursday we have guests every Thursday, and we have resident guests. I'm going to give them a chance to introduce themselves. But before we do that, we want to appreciate you. We want to thank you. You are a regular in our show, and we know that without you, this show cannot be the same. So in that respect, I want to welcome you to another episode of TBT, that is the Best Talk Show. And we also remind you that this show airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 6:30 p.m. all the way to 8 p.m. But before we go any further, I'm going to start on my extreme right, and I'm going to ask Maureen to introduce herself. Tuambie by the umepatikana ama hujapatikana?
Bado sijapatikana.
Amen and amen. So CV, warushe CV, eh?
Sijui
Maureen.
niseme nini.
All right.
Changanyikiwa kidogo.
Say hi to our guests.
Hi viewers.
Yeah.
I'm Maureen Irimu Mata. So glad to be back here again.
Yeah.
By the way, thanks for the counseling sessions.
Awesome.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Niliingia zenye mlikuwa mnasema last time. So viewers, it's okay to tell you that to his promise I will fulfill, and I'm so happy for it.
Okay.
Again, to those maybe who are joining us for the first time,
Yes.
I'm an accountant, auditor by profession, and I
Single
thank
and
God.
available.
God, single and available.
Yes.
Edwin. So I'm so glad na leo mambo itakuwa moto.
Awesome, awesome. It's good to have you, Maureen. You are so resourceful. I'll never tire of saying that because it is a fact. And next to me is Mrs. Pius. I got it right today, isn't it? Eh? See, Mama Pius, Mrs. Pius. Eh?
Finally.
Tafadhali salimia mtazamaji.
Wow. Acha niwasalimu. Na hope kila mtu ni mzima, pia mimi ni mzima. Nashukuru Mungu kwa jioni ya leo. Asante Edwin and Zach kwa kutuaminia na hata kutualika. Atuonangi kama ni kawaida.
Yes.
But we have all the reason to say thank you. God bless you. Hata kutupea this chance. Kusema tu ukweli inanisaidia personally na hata inanisaidia hata in my education, bado niko shule.
Wow.
Endelea kukula vitabu na nashukuru Mungu. Sharing na Maureen nikamwambia last show ilikuja kuwa applied to my exam na nikashukuru Mungu.
Amazing.
Ananiandaa mapema before niingie pale. So God bless you guys. God bless you.
Yeah.
Tuendelee na issue.
Thank you.
Itasaidia,
Thank you.
itasaidia. Acha nisalute mtu mahali nisilipe. Fine. I salute my husband and my kid. Na wasalimu sana sana na wapenda. Asante sana kwa kunipea huu muda wa kuwa mbali na wewe na mbali na mtoto. Mungu awabariki sana. Thank you. I hope mtabarikiwa maisha.
Thank you, fantastic. And we also want to say, Mr. Pius, one day we'll invite you, and also you'll be part of this show, so that we can have kind of a marriage kind of show, isn't it? Eh? It will be fantastic, yeah?
Yes.
So, guys, again, show ya last week ilikuwa imeweza. It was awesome. It was on point. And people loved it a lot. The views were on top. I mean, they were overboard.
Wow, thank God.
And like, you know, we were talking about how to resolve conflict in relationships. Eh? And I'm just going to briefly give us a recap of what we talked about. One of the ways we said we resolve conflict in relationship is we said approach the issue with an open mind. And then we said the other way you resolve conflict in relationship is do not insist on being right all the time. By doing so, you can win the argument but lose your spouse. Na tukasema, say, this is where most couples fail. Because for some reason, you know, it's interesting. Somebody said it's a thin line between love and hate. Yeah? Like, it's easy to connect with someone. But the minute you connect, all of a sudden, the good things that attracted you to that person now you start to see the flaws in that person. Yeah? So you go from loving them to hating them. And what happens, what drives couples apart, whether you're dating or married, is sometimes you're so consumed with being right about an argument that you would do anything, even to the point of losing your partner, isn't it? Huh? So that is a major issue I think people should be very careful about. That sometimes when you're arguing with your spouse, Maureen, you know, you're not yet married, you're getting there.
Wow.
Welcome to the club.
It's just
Don't
5
insist.
minutes and
Don't-
it's started. Okay. All right.
Don't insist on winning the argument.
Okay.
You might lose the battle, yeah? So that is one of the things we talked about. I just needed to lay an emphasis. Number 3, we said, listen more to your spouse. And also we said in quotes, most people listen to respond instead of listening to understand. Did you get that? So for example, I'm arguing with you, Maureen, and you're listening to me not because you want to understand me. You're like, atanyamaza nini ni respond. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So people listen to respond instead to understand, and that's why you find most couples, they are never, you know, on equal footing. Yeah. So that is very important. And last but not least, we said learn to talk things through. Actually, we didn't go through these points,
We did.
isn't it?
Yes.
We said you need to learn how to talk things through and avoid a shouting match. You know how it is when you're arguing with somebody, you raise your voice, I raise my voice. And Maureen, it seems you're very good in that.
Are you serious?
But before we go to you, Maureen, we have Mrs. Pius. Tuambia, have you ever been in a situation whereby you and Mr. Pius, bwanako, pengine mnaishi, anawaka moto, unawaka moto zaidi, and before you know it, it's a shouting match.
Hiyo ni kawaida.
Hiyo ni kawaida.
Hiyo ni kawaida. That is life.
Yeah.
And you cannot change life. That is nature. Ya mwanadamu.
Yeah.
Ujue, we are not angels. Like
Yes, sir.
people used to tell me, you are not an angel until God proves you are.
Yeah.
So lazima ukue very careful. Kuna vitu zingine zinakujanga zinakupata tu.
Yeah.
Unajipata in a situation ya shouting and then uko kwa ile. Unajua uzuri wa wokovu. Okay, huwa nakwamia hapo. Ukiwa umeokoka unakuanga na kale ka inner sound na nilikuwa nafanya nini.
Yeah.
Ama unakuwa utu wako unaongea. After umeshout na unaongea. Sasa nilikuwa na
How did I benefit?
yeah, na kwa nini nimefika that level.
Yeah.
Sasa zingine naweza sema shouting inajiletanga yenyewe na bila kukea utapata umebomoa mambo bila kurekebisha mambo. Ndio maana tulikuwa tuna insist ya kwamba ukiona mtu anaenda juu kati yenu sipakuwe na wakwenda chini ili na yeye huyu wakwenda chini ata control ile shouting.
Yeah.
Juu sasa when you shout you argue you two ni wote ni wajinga. So nini wanasemanga you become too full
Yeah,
at the same time.
yeah.
Lakini wewe ukijiamua mimi sitakuwa mjinga, wacha ninyamaze. Hata ule mwingine ata shout and then he lower then ako like
That is very wise of you to say that, because again, have you realized in talk shows, these reality talk shows, whether it is the Kardashians,
yeah.
or whatever, there are so many, what makes the shows ratings go up is there's always a shouting match.
Yeah.
And they love the drama. So any relationship that has drama gets a lot of attention. Because again, in this generation, our understanding of what makes a relationship is messed up. There has to be shouting, throwing of stuff, cussing each other out, and then you go back to reconciliation. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And then as you reconcile, you're not solving the underlying issue, then you go back to the shouting match. Now, Maureen, because I know you have dated and you shared a little bit about your story, I want you to tell us from a dating perspective, like, have you ever had a situation whereby you and your boyfriend were involved in a shouting match?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, of course, yes.
But you know, naturally, I don't shout. And like coach.
Oh, you are soft-spoken the way you are right now. Serious? Okay. Unajua somebody said still waters run deep, eh?
Yes.
So probably there's another side of you to G.
You see, what I actually don't like is drama. Like
Okay.
your
Shout.
shout.
Ah.
I don't like at all.
So if you dated someone who is a shouting guy, you'd feel like out of place.
Yes.
Wow.
So ikifika mali naona ni kama tuna shout, I'd rather just walk away
For real.
until I'm easy, you're easy, then we can talk like mature people.
So when you are in an argument, what do you do? Do you cry? Do you used to cry?
I used to cry a lot.
So being like, oh, for real?
Yes.
And then
you
until
just
he
cry.
comforts you and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
Yes.
And you sure you did not use that as a means of manipulating him to see it?
No,
here?
Aki sikuangi hivyo Edwin.
For real. Because girls do that, isn't it? eh?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw this video on TikTok. So this girl argues with the boyfriend, and then she goes into the bedroom and she's like counting. Let me see how long it will take for him to come and apologize.
Really?
And the guy is like, peace and quiet. He goes on playing with his PlayStation because girls use that as a means of manipulation.
Which is so wrong.
Yes, isn't it?
It's true.
Tuambie, Mrs. Peace, have you ever done that?
It's true.
Yes.
Okay, hiyo haikosangi.
Haikosangi.
Sana sana wakati wana date.
Yeah. And once you're married,
Ingia kwa marriage, you are two people mature and you have to focus with life.
yeah,
Mimi nasemanga drama mingi zinakuanga the time na date.
yeah.
You that time ndio utasikia tupatane saa moja, mimi nakuja saa 2. Saa hiyo time hata mtu ame lose hope ya kungojea.
Yeah.
Now sasa hiyo time uko like uko na kengine unapitianga huko. Lakini now when you are in the marriage, sionangi ikiwa hata ukilia inakuanga like usiulie basi ukinyamaza tutaongea.
Wow.
What? Okay.
Sasa you are two people who are
Yes.
mature. Na saa zingine nasemanga kulia kwa mwanamke ni kuzuri.
It heals you.
Yeah. Juu akilia kuna maneno unajua hata Bible yenyewe imeembrace ikasema mwanamke amebeba a very sharp tongue.
Yes.
Ambayo akikaa ndio ile tunasemanga ukishaongea kuziandu those words.
And you know, I'm glad you say that.
Yeah.
Because if there's anything that hurts a man's ego, is the words of a woman.
Yeah.
Oh, Maureen, you know you are still dated married, eh? If you want to hurt him,
Yeah.
Ebu like you're like, wait a model. You get what I'm saying, yeah? Those words hurt us like mad, literally crazy, yeah? So you have to be very careful. I love what you're
Very
saying.
careful, very
You see, words can build, your words can break, isn't it? Yeah? And words once spoken, you cannot take them back. Yeah. So I've realized that with most marriages, and when you're doing counseling, you realize that sometimes a woman in anger, out of anger, she will say something to the man
Yeah.
to make him feel the way she feels. Yeah? And the man will shut up. You know, sometimes when a man goes quiet, it's not that we are defeated in battle. It's just that we are like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So you can have a man next to you, coming home to you, but in his mind alikuwa changa
Kitambo, it's true. I support that.
Yeah.
Kuna watu wanaishi pamoja but they are not together.
Yeah.
Wako pamoja
Yes,
kufurahisha neighbor. Wako pamoja tuseme kama watu wenye walienda harusi kama mimi tuko like watu wa ushago watasema.
Exactly.
Unaona unakaa pale unaumia ukiwa ndani ya ndoa lakini hao watu ni wawili very separate.
Yeah.
Na inapata hiyo ndio inafika kesi nilikuwa nasikiza leo asubuhi whereby jamaa huwa inalala bedroom na bibi analala kwa watoto. Na tukitoka nje tuko pamoja, tukirudi wewe unakula kwa hoteli, mimi nakula chakula yangu na watoto wangu na nalala.
Yeah.
So kuna marriages zinakaa hivyo. So hata saa zingine nasemanga ladies we have to appreciate if you have a guy mwenye mnakaa chini mna solve everything on the table. Juu saa zingine mkiachilia hizo vitu
They
na watoto
build up.
wana grow.
They build up.
Ujue watoto wako wana learn.
Yeah.
Kuna vitu wananyonya tu pole pole. Na then mtoto atafika mahali ya kuuliza daddy are you sure that umeoa mamangu?
Yeah.
Utamjibu aje kama ni mzee?
There are people, like what she's saying is very true. For real, eh? Like, yes, you're together, and for the sake of appearances, mlifanya harusi, tukatokelea Musa, so you feel compelled to remain in that, but your heart is far up. You're no longer even intimate.
Yeah.
Yes, you're no longer
Okay,
intimate. Yeah?
wait.
You no longer just intimate. You no longer have desire for each other
I will.
because of words spoken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we say to you, Maureen, as you are in the dating stage, lay a right foundation.
Yeah.
And hear me. Let me tell you, if you want your guy to love you, and he adores you, use your words to build him up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if he has nothing, even if you're earning more than him, and you choose to be the woman that uplifts him. You remember we shared in another show, I told you, in every man there's a kid, and in every man there's a king. What do you think brings out the king in a man? The words of a woman.
So let me ask her.
Yeah.
For me and 10,000 others,
Yes.
you mean the only way to have a man to keep you is by the way you talk to him, or there are just other ways? Question number 2 to you, Rose.
Yeah.
Are there marriages that are, because now from what you guys are talking, hadi mimi sasa niko, I am glad I'm single. God, are there marriages that are standing? Like, are there men who still love their ladies and ladies loving their men?
Yeah.
Do they exist?
Yes. They exist. What we are highlighting is some of the most marriages in the early stages, they make these mistakes. You get that? Of course, there are couples who are married, they are still intimate, they care about each other, but they have learned to overcome these hurdles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what basically we are saying is the love language of a man, and we're going to get into that, is appreciation.
Yeah.
How do you appreciate him? What you say, the words you use, isn't it? So your predominant love language is quality time and affection, isn't it? So what happens when a woman is denied the quality time and the affection, what do? They are so eager for it, they lash out at the man.
Yes.
So when you lash out at him, sometimes he may respond in kind, but also sometimes when he's overwhelmed, he will say, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So he shut himself in. So you're with him in the house, but his mind is far away. Yeah? So don't be afraid of getting married. Okay? Don't be afraid of getting married. But it's important to be equipped with this understanding so that you don't make the mistakes most young people do when they are dating, isn't it? Make sure, look, and I think you bear witness with me, yeah?
Yeah.
When there's drama in my marriage, I don't have peace in my mind.
Oh, really?
So we've gotten to a stage with my wife whereby we have just agreed no drama.
Yes.
Yeah, like we don't have to argue about it, you don't have to shout about it. We can be civil about it. You may not see my point of view, I may not see your point of view, but let us not make an issue out of it.
Ni ukweli juu unapata hata tukibase in the Bible, the time when mwanamke akikasirika, Bible inatuambia awatanga alfesha.
Yes, sir.
Na siku yenye
Yes.
Anthony utaamka uteteshwe na bibi asubuhi. Agree with me, hata kwa ofisi utaona watu.
Oh, that is so
Na
true.
utafanya kazi.
It is very
Maneno
true.
ya mwanamke huwa inafunja mikono ya mwanaume.
Yeah.
The whole day.
Yes.
Until the time atarudi kwa nyumba solve the problem. Lakini wakati yenye mumekosana usiku, mumemalizana asubuhi, release a blessing word. Hata kama amekwambia labda hana fare, akwambie nisaidie tu na fare. Na you have it. Mpe. Alafu ufuate umbariki, mwambie hiyo 100 yangu ikuje na dhao. Agree with me, atakuja na hiyo dhao. You already umerelease the blessings of the day. Lakini ukitarajia eti asubuhi umemtetesha alafu usiku akuje na unga, my friend atapata 50 aingia kule Mutura hapo na wazee wengine.
Yeah.
Alafu akiingia anataka tu maji ya kuoga. Ukikataa kumwekea ataoga na baridi.
Yeah.
Aingia lale. Hapo unaanza ku withdraw your man from you.
Yeah.
Withdraw your man from you. Na wamama ni sisi huwa tunafukuza wanaume.
Say that again, my sister.
Ni sisi huwa tunawaweka.
Yeah.
Juu one thing me I know, when a man loves you na nakuweka kwa nyumba yake, anakuanga amemaanisha amekuoa. So wewe kama mama ndio tunaambiwa mama mwerefu ujenga kwake, mama mjinga ubomoa kwake. Na mikono yake utabomoa aje? Huyo mzee alikuweka hapo. Wewe mzee, last time tulisema man kwa nyumba ni firstborn.
Yes.
Umemuondoa ule firstborn. Wewe unaona kimtu hiki kinakujanga.
He's a liability.
Sasa ukishatoa tu hiyo tu una withdraw, unaacha kumuona kama mtu. Okay, wamama usikujigamba. Wamama huwa tumepewa responsibility mingi na Mungu. Tunaweza fanya vitu mingi at the same time. Lakini ile nataka wamama muelewe ni ya kwamba mwanaume hawezi fanya vile tunafanya.
It's true.
So unaweza pata niko na biashara huku juu, niko na biashara Nairobi, niko na biashara wapi, lakini zote na manage at the same time.
You can multitask.
Everything.
And no, I love what you're saying because again, it's important our viewers to understand.
Yeah.
The reason why some of the people I do pre-marital counseling, I remember a specific case. A couple came. They were young, your age. They were newly married. And the woman was like, oh boy, this my man, he listens to his friends more than he listens to me. He spends more time with his friends more than he spends time with me. But when I did a little bit of digging, I realized this man looks for peace from his friends.
Yeah.
So sometimes when your man is spending too much time with his boys, yeah, he's like this is my peace, this is my safe haven. Yeah. If a man does not find peace at home, he's not gonna remain there. Do you know why men abuse alcohol? One of the reasons, not the only reason.
Yeah.
Akitoka home, akitoka job ama haso yake, anaingia local pub. Abi a cool down. He prepares himself for the war at home. Yes, he takes a few, and then I kesha kanyama hapo. Ajua tabeba kanusu. So he knows by the time I go home, the children are asleep. She's probably asleep. So I'll come, shower, bed, boom.
Yeah.
Wake up, I wake up, boom. Because we don't like drama. Maureen,
True, I support that.
Isn't
I
it?
support that.
We don't like drama. Okay, she's very much in Bible. I love that. Why do you think Samson loved Delilah so much? Apart from the fact that she was beautiful, the woman knew how to make the brother lie on his lap, on her lap, and make him feel at home.
Yeah.
Every man is looking for peace,
Of course.
tranquility.
Yes.
So most women, jamaa kingia kwa nyumba, the first thing, kababa nige kuharago. Katrina, and you're like, okay, can I just breathe in? Can I just chill out a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Before you tell me the challenges of a message, and from there, by the time you go to bed, the bill is not paid. What was walikuwa mekuja, and the man is like, okay, I've had a really hectic day. This is what you do when he comes home. Let him just cool off. Let him just cool off. After half an hour of him detoxing, they're like, baby, there's something I want us to talk about. What? Whenever you're ready, let me know about it. Because again, men process things. See, you guys process things verbally as we process internally. So sometimes my wife will ask me about something, and I'm like, okay, I'll think about it. And I'll tell her the answer a week later. But her, she wants me to process it and tell her. So before she understood me, we used to have conflict. Can I give you an example? When we were newly married, me, I'm very quiet. So tukienda na church, tumepanda mat ama bus, yeah? So me, I don't talk. And my wife is so we used to go, man, she said, I do niongeleshangi. And I'm like, what is niongeleshangi? I'm like, what do you mean niongeleshangi? Uniongeleshangi? So what do you want me to talk to you about in the bus? See, she wants us to talk, yeah? That's her love language. Me, I'm like, I only talk when I have something to say. So initially it was a source of conflict because my personality is different from her personality. You see how different we are wired, yeah? But now once she understood me, now she's very comfortable with my silence. Because now she knows when I start now to talk, I will talk. So she would talk to me about something and then give me space to process it, and then a day or 2 days later I'll tell her, by the way, that thing you were asking me, this is the solution. She processes things verbally. So those dynamics, you have to understand them. Maureen, you're coming for another class.
Wow. Niko tu hapo, wow.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
Okay, unapatanga in a marriage, kama mimi I'm very talkative.
Yeah.
Daddy is not very talkative.
He's like he's a quiet, yeah.
Anaongea vitu.
So by daddy you mean your husband?
My husband.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
namutanga
Dancy.
So, ako hivyo na tuko hivyo juu kitu moja Andrew nimekuja kulane.
Yeah.
Amwezi oana watu wawili para.
True.
Mungu hawezi ruhusu.
Yeah.
Na amwezi oana watu wawili wamenyamaza.
Yeah.
Nani ataombea Mungu? Nani atamotivate hiyo nyumba? Unajua Mungu hata yeye unaangalianga dimension nyingine. Imagine mmeingia kwa nyumba mmenyamaza. Ni masahani tu zinapiga kelele hapo. Mkienda kwa bed, yani everything is silent. Lakini lazima kukue na mtu wa kuchokoza wale wengine.
True.
Hata kwa watoto utapata katoto kamoja kamenyamaza, kale kengine ni juu sasa huyo amefanywa na Mungu, kusikwe na stress kwa hiyo nyumba. The time I'm talking with my son inakuanga like wow,
Yeah.
kuwa na mtoto kwa nyumba ni vizuri. Juu zingine unapatanga nimechoka, labda nimetoka class ama nimetoka job, nimechoka, kuna vitu nataka kutuma mahali, dadi yako hapo unasikia kasibu kameenda, now I'm like namwangalia, anafika mwisho ananini, anacheka peke yake, so anataka the tension itoke hapa irudi kwake. So haiwezekani kwa nyumba mko ati watu
You can't.
wanyamaza.
In fact,
Mtangojeka basi.
that's why opposites attract. You'll always attract someone who is opposite of your personality.
So
It's-
let me ask,
Yeah.
So right now when I'm looking for that partner, myself I'd say, am I quiet?
Wewe.
It's not even so much quiet,
Si,
Maureen.
unajua kuna quiet ile ya
Siongei na nyamaza tu.
no, unaona ukiwa na your partner. Mimi kwanza kuna kitu moja huwa hata na I think hata time tulikuja hapa the first time ya show yangu ya Friday tulisumbuana na Jeff. Ananiambia siongei sana.
Yeah.
I don't shout. Me personally nikiongea hivyo nasikia kama najiova shout.
Wow.
Unaona? Hata mahali popote naendanga, hata shule. Ati Rose, can't you shout tusikie? Na mimi personally nasikia shout.
Shout, yeah.
So unapata pale my husband ananiambia naongeanga sana. Lakini sasa nikienda hivi nashindwa. Sinaongeanga sana. Sasa
Yeah.
mbona hawasikii?
Yeah.
Na wanataka ni shout. So shouting si ile ati
Okay.
kuna ile aman it's unaona sasa Andrew ananiambia amenyamaza. Wewe umeona Andrew amenyamaza?
I'm still perplexed. I'm still digesting that.
Hata wewe umestuka.
I'm still
Mimi hata mimi
digesting that.
nimeshindwa.
Hadi sasa nilikuwa nataka kumuona nyuma ya tent nijue. I know more about the quiet side, you know.
We have to raise that lady to police.
Yes,
Amenyamaza side gani? So unapata hiyo balance. God knows how to balance it.
Yeah.
Siwezi sema umenyamaza. Jueni msee ule ajuku keep issues.
Yes.
You need them to be discussed. That is tunatakanga hivyo. Unaweza pata mzee wako hataki kuhandle hiyo issue at that time. But
Yeah.
wewe unataka ihandliwe at that time. Hiyo ndio tunasema.
So
Yes.
my question was, now that I'm not quiet, my main person ama my habit to be is supposed to be quiet.
No, no,
Hatuwezi
no.
kuwa sisi wote ati we're like I'm not quiet, he's not quiet, ama I'm quiet. Okay, what do you mean?
mkiingia hapo
Juu
tu
sasa
mtu
unajua,
atajichiu.
I'm trying to think, okay, allow me to ask this for, juu najua tuko wengi wenye tunajiuliza hizi maswali, now that you guys started discussing about this marriage issue. Maybe there's someone there who's dating a person, both of them ni wale wa kuongea. Na maybe wamedate 4 years. So naambia watu waachane ama
No, we are not saying that.
it's not like a quality you're supposed
What
to
we are
look
saying,
at.
again, it's very important to when we're saying being quiet, really what we're saying is everyone has a different personality.
Yeah.
You know, we all have different personalities. There's extrovert, introvert. There's people who process stuff inside. There are people who process stuff verbally. So your personality, you realize even unconsciously, you'll attract someone who is your direct opposite.
Yeah.
Sometimes unaonanga one partner ni outgoing sana, napenda kutoka. The other one is like me, as long as I'm home, I'm good. You get what I mean? So you'll always unconsciously attract someone who is your opposite. It is an unconscious thing. It's not something that you're conscious about. Ati ukidate tunasema ni waragia. Kama uongeangi uniambie
Karibu
mapema.
nianze kudiscard hizo CV, lakini thanks.
Yeah.
Hiyo our viewers, hiyo ni normal.
Yeah.
Na mkiingia kwa relationship kuna venye Mungu huwa ana twist mambo.
Yes.
Si wewe utajiselectia. Kuna mtu utampenda lakini itakuja ifike mahali kila mtu amebalance kwa
Yes.
line yake. Hiyo ni kazi ya Mungu, si kazi yako. So usimwache ati juu anaongea sana. Inawezekana ukiingia kwa marriage wewe mwanamke utanyamaza, yeye aongee.
By the way, it is true.
Inaendanga hivyo. Hiyo
Yeah.
ni kitu inakuanga. Inawezekana alikuwa anaongea mkiwa relationship. Mkiingia sasa amejua I am a man of the house. I have to be the cooler of my house.
Yeah.
Period.
You set the tone.
Yes.
Lakini tukiongea ukweli, before we go for a break, Mrs. Peace,
Yeah.
is it fair to say that to a large extent the quality of a marriage is determined by the wife?
Quality.
As in, hiyo ndoa iwe na ladha.
Itategemea na mwanamke.
Isn't it, eh?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mwanamke.
Yes.
Mwanamke. Juu ndio unasikianga tukiambiwa mwenye amepata bibi amepata kitu ya maana.
Yeah.
That means the wife is the owner of the house. Hebu nikuulize Edwin, saa hii naenda kwako, seriously nitaenda niseme nimekuja kwa Edwin?
Hapana.
Edwin ako na nyumba?
Sinanga.
Okay, thank you.
It's interesting because my kids, I have twins, 2 girls. So siku moja, my twins, we laughed. You know what they said? Walisema, na wewe daddy, kwa nini unaendanga bedroom ya mom?
What?
It's not my bedroom. It's her bedroom. So even the kids know, like, okone kwa mami, kwa mzai. Yeah.
Wow.
So yes, the wife sets the tone, isn't it?
Yeah, na unapatanga Edwin, tukienda break, unapatanga hivi, kama nyumba ni ya mama, ndio maana unapatanga, tuseme, saa hii ndio nimeona mabadiliko, tunapata mtu anajitanisha na mamake. Ama mtu anajitanisha na mama yake. Lakini tu tukirudi pale nyuma kidogo, hakuna mama wa watoto. Hakuna jina ya mama inapaswa kuwa kwa ID ya mtoto. Tuongee tu kama Africans.
Yeah.
Unapata kama unaulizwa kama mimi mama babangu anaitwa Mbunza. Mbunza ni wa nani? Mbunza ni wa Muoki. Muoki ni wa, hakuna mahali utasikia Mbunza ni wa Agnes, Mbunza ni wa Naomi,
Yes.
Mbunza ni wa.
And it is true because again, even when you're ukiolewa, na utaolewa very soon. By the way, we're inviting you for our wedding. What will happen
Inshallah,
is, Maureen,
Amen.
is, see, in our culture,
Yeah.
see, unasinizangwa na kitanda. And like, the groom's father and mother come and pick you up. Unatoka na sanduku. So umetoka huko. Ni kuenda umeenda. So really, when you leave. There's no way then my kids, they can bear. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, you become.
Part of.
And that's why you find, I love the preaching I had yesterday by Pastor Robert. He said, women, no matter how wealthy you are, how powerful you are, you still want to be identified to a man.
Of course.
Because the identity of a woman is in relationships. Our identity is in achievements.
Yes.
But the identity of a woman is in relationships. You get what I mean, eh? So, but what you're saying, I love what you're saying. So the woman sets the tone
Of the house.
and of the marriage.
Yeah.
So a wise woman will build, a foolish woman will,
That's true.
and Maureen will be a wise woman.
Inshallah.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Now
I
listen,
receive.
guys. We're going for a short commercial break. And when we come back, the one and only Zaki Mwenda, the one who sang for us the song Super Honey. And my Ebo co-host will be with us. He's been in the backstage doing a number of things. So please, after 5 minutes, don't touch that dial. Come back and be a part of it. Hello, everyone. My names are Edwin Mbachu, and I am a trained counselor and a life coach by profession. Now, here at Helping Hearts Counseling Center, we offer services that include youth mentorship programs, mental health awareness, guidance and counseling on drugs and substance abuse, rehabilitation services, as well as drug testing. Now, we are located at Bishop Karaoke Center, opposite Wangige Level 4 Hospital, and you can reach us on 0723 820 271 or 07188 72556. Helping Hearts Counseling Services, a place of healing for you and your loved ones.